If you look at the 2009 lessons learned and then you look at the 2019 lessons learned, if you mix those two documents up and took the dates off them, I don't know if you'd know which one was which, because a lesson learned is not learned until you change the structures that created the problem in the first place. And I don't think we're doing that. And when I talk about the wicked problems, the ones that stand out to me would be wages as a dirty word, the huge expectations that grants have on volunteer participation. All of those grants assume volunteer participation, and none of those grants could be implemented without volunteer participation, not one of them. And so that needs to be recognised in the future, so that somebody can get paid to build that skate park or run that music event or do whatever it is that money is going to. There need to be changes to competitive grants process. There need to be changes to politically motivated grant processes and timelines. Oh, we can't do that until the election, or so-and-so wants that to be held off until blah, blah time. No, those things need to go by the wayside. We need to address the issue of short-term and insecure employment of the people that help after disasters. We have all of these people who have a 6-month contract and a 12-month contract, and then another 6 months and then another 12 months, and they never know whether they're coming or going. They can't buy a house, they can't buy a car, they can't have a proper life if they're working in recovery because of 6 and 12-month contracts. They really need to be addressed. We lost so many wonderful people because their contracts expired or because they had insecure work. And with every person that we lost all of that person's knowledge, we lost all of that person's friendships, connections, relationships, and all the wonderful things that person was doing. I think that there's been myopic thinking about really big ticket items. We still don't have a hospital in our town. We still don't have a hall where you can go to the toilet if you can't climb stairs. We haven't really had access to big ticket stuff, and our town certainly needs a couple of those items. It would be great if along that journey we had been able to say, well, there's X number of dollars headed our way, how about we prioritise $10 million of it to build some aged care, or whatever that looked like. And so we had money coming in small buckets to do small things. We didn't ever have an opportunity to tip one bucket into another, or to do any really big picture thinking about what our town needs. And I think that it would be great if we could stand back and say, well, okay, what are the biggest items that are on this town's wish list? How can we get them funded? How can we accumulate funds? How can we consolidate funds? How can we avoid waste and duplication and all of those kinds of things? Better options for rebuild support I've already mentioned. And then, of course, one thing that I've learned is that preparedness is actually a really important part of your recovery journey. It's a really important antidote to anxiety. And so when people start thinking ahead and saying, is my house safe in the next disaster, whether it be a flood or a bushfire or whatever, when people start saying, well, actually, I know what I do in those circumstances now, when people start having those conversations with their children, do you know how to pack a bag if we have to evacuate? Do you know what you need? All of those things are they're uncomfortable for us because we've been through our emergency. We have emotional, mental health resistance to talking about those things. But once we have talked about them and once we have done them, they're a really important part of recovery. And I think that, we all need to take preparedness very seriously these days. And it's a really healthy thing to do.